Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Choices.
Hi, welcome. Woohoo! Happy New Year!
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you forgot my coffee cup.
What happened?
My coffee cup. You need the cup.
Oh, no.
I need more coffee. It's empty.
I know. We've already been doing things.
You know, we're very excited to be here today because we have so much happening. What is happening?
Well, we have our vision board book after church today. So
Right.
I'm super excited about that. We have our new journals.
We're doing
So super excited about this.
So we have a journal now this year. So this is awesome. So in addition to your cards, and we didn't have cards last week, so you have 2 cards with you. So in addition to your cards, we've created a journal so that
the whole year
you can journal through the year and take notes if there's something that comes to you through our discussion, things that you want to do throughout the week.
So all of our partners get those for free, and
Right.
then if you want them, you can purchase them. So
Exactly.
yeah, I know, and it supports what we're doing here in our ministry, which is so appreciated.
Yes. And we're located here at 7220 North 16th Street, Phoenix, Arizona 85020. And that is between Northern and Glendale. And this is the home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington's Unleash Your Life. We call it studios, but she has a lot of practices that she does here. She has, and this has just started. Matter of fact, you can still get in to Best Year Yet 3.
3.0.
3.0. And we have several people in the room in this experience. And it's once a month, workshops and different events throughout. And when she has certain events like concerts and the candle lighting thing, and when she has different things, also, if you're in the Best Year Yet, you get discounts and different things. So we learned that one. That's always a good one. And so that has just started. And she is also doing a mapping visioning. And she did one yesterday, and we'll be doing another one next Saturday. So if you are interested, please go to unleashyourlife.us to sign up.
And I will tell you, she is, I think I can speak for both of us, she's our greatest mentor. So if you need a mentor, if you want to have the greatest year of your life, I would highly recommend you check out what she has going on. So the discounts are fun. I appreciate discounts on things. I appreciate all the camaraderie and the getting to have the tribe, but to be able to be in her presence and to learn from her is really a big deal.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned that, because you also do get one counseling session, not counseling, coaching session. Yeah, I'm like, well, but like for me, when I take it, it's a counseling session. But you get one coaching session with it and get a taste of what her coaching practice is like as well.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, can't say enough about her.
Go.
Yeah. Most people know who she is anyway,
Right.
But if you don't know, that's
a good way to look up. She has been a guest on the sofa from time to time as well. So
yeah, she's the executive director for the Ampton, affiliated New Thought Network. She's their executive director.
That is
so
true.
She's like everywhere.
You know what? Speaking of Ampton.
Oh no, she's going to speak of Ampton.
I'm going to speak of Ampton. I need to bring this up because I want people to know.
Oh, no, I know what you're going to say.
Yes.
I know what you're going to say.
I got to tell you.
Oh,
so
goodness.
the Affiliated New Thought Network's president
Dun, dun, dun.
Reverend Dr. Jerry Trower will be here on the sofa.
Right here.
Right here.
He's gonna be right
On
here.
the sofa.
Right
I
here.
haven't seen him in years.
Oh,
Yes,
it's
he
gonna be
is
amazing.
coming to town. Not only will he be on the sofa, he will also be doing a workshop for us at Sofa Sundays.
Yeah.
So that is is it the 26th?
26th. Yeah.
It's
His
the-
workshop's only a $20 love offering, which is
Yes.
so sweet.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
there will be more information out, but he just confirmed, and so I wanted to
So
get that
spread the word.
out there.
Tell
Spread the
everybody that
word.
you know that this
Yes.
wonderful, amazing man is going to be here on the
Yes.
sofa. I can't believe it.
I know, and we're so grateful.
I know.
We're so
I don't
very
think he knows
grateful.
what he's gotten into, but
No, but we should warn them. I mean,
I
you know,
tried. I
we
tried.
are online.
I tried.
You can find out what you're getting into, but too late. You already committed.
and I've already
So-
we've already said it. So
Yeah, and it's done now. That's right. So, you know
Just
what's
saying.
missing?
What?
Our bowl. Our
Oh,
bowl is
no.
missing. That's okay.
She's gonna get.
Oh, you're gonna get the bowl? I
Did
don't
you
care
get
who
one?
does it, but could we move it
Did you
along?
get one of these? Because you were not here last week, right?
Oh, you giving away my journal?
Yeah. I'll make you another.
I
You
got
didn't
one
write
in
it
there.
down. Yeah,
No,
I think,
didn't
I think
write
one
it
of
in.
them was hers.
Probably.
Yeah.
I grabbed both of them.
Yeah.
So,
Whenever.
oh yeah, and Christian's
right.
a partner
That's right.
as well.
That's right.
You know
So
what?
he
We
needs
can
to
give
have
him
one
you
too.
so you can.
I'll make some more.
Here we go. Here we
You want to
go.
buy one?
Isn't that the best problem?
Yeah.
Make some more.
Yeah, you'll have to
I
make
love
some
it.
more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I know Mary
So,
Jane's gonna want one, so I'll make one
okay,
for her.
more to be
I don't
made.
know if we have any more in the cabinet, but. All right.
All right. So, do you want to pray us in?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, some deep breaths. We want to ground ourselves here. Pull ourselves in this present moment. Releasing the morning. Releasing anything coming after our time together. Recognizing the one power, one presence, one life. All there is. We call it God, Spirit, the divine, whatever you call it. It is all it is, moving in as and through each and every one of us. It is love. It is joy. It is peace. It's that connection we feel. And as each one of us are that perfect reflection of the divine, we also are that love, that joy, that peace. We are unique manifestations of the one. And from that truth, from my knowing of who and whose I am, I speak my word for our time together, for this session together, for our experience, knowing that it is divinely guided, full of love and laughter. And as we allow ourselves to be present, to be open, we receive what is ours to receive from the sharing, from the ideas, from the conversation. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I'm so grateful to be giving into it and receiving from it. And so I let it go, knowing that it is already done perfectly in the mind of God. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yay. Oh, and you prayed in my coffee. I love it. That's very good.
Mhm.
All right. So you should have a card in front of you. And for those of you online, we posted it as our title.
Yes.
I know that life is for me and nothing is against me.
Amen, sister. We're done.
Amen.
That's
There you
it.
go.
That's
Like
the service for
that.
today, boys and girls.
What
That's
else?
it.
What else could
What
there
else
be?
do we need to say? That's it in a nutshell.
That really is.
Life is for me and nothing is
It's
against me.
against
That's it. If life is for me, if God has my back, that's it. That's it. If you believe that,
Well, and I do.
I do. So like
I
that's
do
it.
believe that.
That's
That
all
is
there is.
one of the, guiding principles.
Right?
The guiding principles of a successful living, as in
the science of mind.
Science of Mind text,
In the
chapter
Science of Mind
16. And, for those of you that are, real science of minders
I
and,
like
real what?
What?
Yeah, when you're real science of minders, everything's about the foundational principles. And I'm
Right.
going
You're going
all
deep.
the way
Going old
to
school.
chapter 16.
Go to the beginning.
I just went, no, I'm not going to the
Oh,
beginning.
not the very beginning.
I'm not going to the beginning. I'm going into the thing. I'm mixing it up here.
Uh-oh.
I mixed it up
Already causing
because,
trouble.
for me, this is where that principle of life is. That I really enjoy this part of the book. And when we went through it, hi! We have so many people
So
here
many fun
today
people. I'm so
that
excited.
we haven't
So
seen.
excited.
We haven't seen in a year at least, right? Because it's 2025. So, yeah.
We haven't seen him since 2024.
Yeah, exactly. So
Lots of hugs going on this week.
yes, it's so exciting.
If you live here in Phoenix, you should be here present with us. I'm telling you, it's
Yes.
wonderful what we're creating all together. So
Exactly, it really is, and
No, I
we
love
so
it.
love that.
I love it.
That was the
That
whole.
was the whole
Yeah,
dream. The
the
whole
whole
dream. You're letting
dream.
helping our dream come alive. So
Exactly.
yeah.
To have this.
I know.
Exactly. So,
I'm sorry.
that's right. Yeah, totally. The train has left the station. Thanks for playing.
It is one of those mornings. That
It really
feels like
is,
that today.
and the life is for me, nothing is against me.
Yeah.
There are so many times prior to my science of mind, prior to recovery, that my mentality was, oh, what else can happen? I know. I'm just saying it was prior. Like Lacey's giving me the finger.
Lacey's like,
And how many times have you heard people, not in this, say things like that, right? Like, oh, what else could happen? Waiting
Or
for
I'm
the other
waiting
shoe to drop.
or I never get too excited because I know it's not gonna last for long. Or
Right,
I know
yes.
the bad. I'm waiting to see what the bad
Right.
is.
Or people that don't want to jinx it
Yes.
by telling you about the good. Right? I mean, there are so many different ways we express that life isn't for us.
Right.
And that is something that we need to erase. Erase.
You want a do-over.
We want a do-over. That's right.
Reverse.
We want that. We want the magic do-over. We want to
Dakota's like,
bring. We want to bring into our consciousness that life has our back, that the universe has our back.
Yeah.
And this isn't just a science of mind principle. You hear, even in fundamental Christianity, you will hear, if God is for us, who can be against us? Right. That is a principle of, spirituality, no matter what your affiliation. And yet we claim to believe something and operate over here.
As soon as something bad happens, we
It's
like
like,
out the window, like, oh yeah,
Knew it was going to be.
Yeah. No, wait, what?
Yeah. So that's one of those things that I think, and it's so insidious, right? I spoke last week about my partner saying, well, why can't we? And I'm always like, well, here's the list of why we can't. I'm working on that. I think I've been better in 2025. Yes. Well, one, also because I ratted myself out online and in public with my
Just
tribe.
saying.
So there was that. But those are the things, they're insidious. They get in there. And then when somebody calls you on it, you go, oh, I didn't mean it. right? But
I said was.
welcome to the world the universe doesn't know. You're kidding. You know, it didn't know you was joking.
The universe just says
Yes.
no matter what you're doing.
Just says yes.
I want. I
says
wish I had. I
yes.
want this. Yes. Let's.
Yes, we'll keep you
the
in
state
want.
of want. State of wish.
We'll keep you in
Just
wish.
keep you there. Yeah.
So this is why we are working on that effervescent joy bubble of manifestation,
Right.
knowing and affirming
Right.
that our life is backed up by the divine.
Right. Has your back.
Just sending some blessings to whatever's happening there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if
Yeah.
online you hear that, but we do hear it.
Yeah. It's ambulances. Right. So when we have, this is something to we make these cards in this size so you can stick them in your wallet or you can stick them somewhere you're going to see them. That's why we make them this little business card size. So it's easy to, if you say to yourself, oh, this is a card for me, you can, it's easy to stick somewhere else. See, he's got them in
Like
his
stick it
wallet.
on your mirror. Look at that.
Yes,
There
stick
you
it on your
go.
mirror. So somewhere that you're going to
Yeah.
look at it all the time. But I think this is a big one because, right, we fundamentally understand this.
Yes.
But the moment something happens that's we would deem negative, we forget this.
Mm-hmm.
So what this is saying to me that even if we deem something to be bad, it's still this.
Right. It's still life
It's
backing it
still
up.
this.
Mhm.
It's still God. If I try to, I'll talk to my husband about this too sometimes, like along your journey, how many of you, I mean, all of us can do this. Look in the back, like look in the rear view and say, wow, I thought this was really bad, but it's the one thing that pushed me here and made me
Yeah.
do X, Y, Z. So why don't we learn from that? Why don't we go, you know what, when am I going to stop saying this is bad and then, relishing, like sitting in it and being miserable and depressed and ruining the whole day, instead saying, well, God must be using it to push me somewhere. Where am I supposed to be going? What am I supposed to be doing? Who am I supposed to be talking to? What am I supposed to be learning,
Mhm.
Because I can look backwards and see how often that has happened.
Yes.
There must be a pony in there.
Yeah. There's got to be a pony in here somewhere.
Mhm. So I think that's like, it's this, I think we just need to be constantly reminded because the whole world that's out there is programmed opposite of this.
Right.
And so it's too easy to fall back into that programming and forget our truth.
Absolutely. And it's the reason we repeat ourselves so often.
Yeah.
And the fact that I forget
It's
things.
for us too. Remember, it's for us. Stop it. Well,
And I'm getting a little old,
she's
so I
on me
forget
this
things.
morning. You're on
Right,
me.
I am on cup
She's
2.
on this. Oh,
Here.
you're.
There's 4 altogether.
Oh my God.
So the purpose of the repetitive nature of learning is because we forget things when we get into an emotional crisis.
Yes.
Right? So when I'm in an emotional crisis, the last thing I want you to do is say, hey, Jeannie, remember how it all worked out for you last time?
Oh.
Because I'll punch you in the head. I mean, no, I'm kidding. I won't punch you.
She's not violent.
I'm not violent.
That was a metaphor.
That was a metaphoric punch you in the head.
Sometimes
Hold on, Mike. Mike.
Are we on?
it's not.
No.
Hello.
Testing.
Yes, hi, one.
Hello.
Yeah.
It's a new system.
Well, it was on here. Is it on there?
Hello.
There we go.
There she is. There she is. I know she's going to say something profound. So.
Well, sometimes somebody saying that can be like dream snatching or whatever.
Mhm.
But I know that, well, just recently when I shared some bad news with my brother, his response was, well, you have 9 lives, don't you? Or is it 9 cats? he reminded me, he said, you forget that it always works out for you. And that, for me, that was a good reminder.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd forgotten I was separate from the one for just a second
Right.
while I doubted what was coming my way.
Yeah.
And so for him to remind me that I manifest what works in my life always.
Yeah.
So, I needed to hear that. So it's
Yeah.
not always a shaming thing.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would so agree there. There are time periods, and I guess it really is about who and when
Who
they
says
say
it?
it.
Who
Yeah.
says it?
You know,
He said it with a funny.
yeah.
He said it
Don't
in a
you
way
have
that
9
was
lives?
like,
I like that. I actually might steal
or
that
the 9
line.
cats.
Yeah.
Or
You have
9
9
cats,
lives
like,
or 9 cats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lifted you out of that. Just showed you real love there.
Yeah.
For a minute too.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, but I love how she said separateness. That's really the term.
That is the
we
right.
feel like we're in separateness, which
Yeah.
is not true. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's
Because
a
we're
full
here
lie.
to give God a what?
A good time.
A good time. That's right.
And
So
who
there
knows?
is
God
no
may really
separateness.
enjoy us going through something tough and coming out champions. You know, God must really like that. You know?
I refuse to believe that the universe is so narcissistic, but okay.
It's possible.
This
See her
is
triumph and rah rah. Yeah,
the rah-rah thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moses probably believed that.
I know,
yeah,
right?
That's
But I
for
wanted
sure.
to add to what you were talking about, how we repeat things all the time. You know, when I, as a performer, and anybody who's ever performed, if you don't practice,
Mhm.
and then you fail to practice, then you get on stage. If you've ever seen people get on stage and they just stand there and just sing like this, or they don't move, that's because they haven't practiced. And so what shows up and when you're nervous or having those emotions is whatever you've practiced. That's what shows up. So that's why it's so important to be constantly working on these things, you know, reminding yourself every day you're trying to assimilate this into what comes out when those moments hit you. It's not,
No.
but you're trying to, you know,
There we go. Oh, now it's a little.
now it's too much.
Mhm.
But you're trying to have that be your default, have that be what you pull from, right? And so it comes from the day-to-day reminder, the day-to-day journaling. When you're not in that space
Right.
of that negativity, you're just going through it and you're reminding yourself and you're building that muscle so that when it does come up, that's what you go to.
Right. Absolutely.
That's why we constantly, because I'm doing it for myself too.
Right.
You know,
Who has some? Yeah. There we go. I knew it. I could feel it. I could
You
feel it.
It was heavy in the room.
Thank you. I
I think you're
it's
on.
on. I think there's a lot of surrender that needs to go into this too, for us, because sometimes when we're in situations, the reason that we're not necessarily believing that it's for our highest good is because our ego is kind of taking over sometimes, and we're like wanting to already project the outcome and like why this is so bad for me and all the horrible things that will happen. So I think for me, you know, like the last quarter of 2024 was pretty hard for me. It was not easy. I had to go through a lot of different lessons and things. But I looked at it as a lesson, right? And that helped me get through. And part of it, when I was really struggling, was not saying like, you know, take this pain all away and I never want to experience, you know, I kind of had to transform that into, you know, I'm surrendering. If this is the last time that I'm suffering, then I'm grateful. But if I have to again, then there's some more lessons that I need to learn, you know. And when you look at it from that aspect, then everything is for me,
Right.
you know. And at the end, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. I love that. Thank you.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I love that.
And again, it can be hard when you're in it.
Yeah.
You know, I got something here.
I love it. Let's see what
So,
Ernest has to
What
say.
Ernest has to say. He says, this is page 275. Let us take a concrete example.
Okay, let us.
Suppose I'm confronted with a problem and do not know the answer to it. Every known fact is against the working out of this problem. I say, I wish to treat this situation. I wish to handle it scientifically from the standpoint of spiritual science. My treatment then must not consider the facts. The facts are relative. The treatment must become absolute with a capital A. I wish to get it over into the mind, as a complete acceptance, not of the old fact, but of the new one. In such degree as this treatment, and for those out there that don't know, treatment's prayer.
Yeah.
So in such degree as this prayer partakes of the nature of reality, is it going to have power? It can have only as much power as I embody. So how much I accept, I believe,
And that's what
and affirm.
treatment is, a prayer for our own minds
for
to
our own
recognize the
mindset.
truth before we declare what we're stating. Yeah. So we have to,
Do it.
Yeah.
This is the limitation of treatment, not the limitation in principle, but in performance. So principle is absolute. Principle is great. It is in us to create. The thing itself, of course, is not limited. As we have proven that principle is not bound by precedent, one of my
Amen,
favorites,
sister.
we go into the realm which says, behold, I make all things new, not carrying with us the limited belief of the reason why it cannot be. You can see I have this underlined several times
Multiple,
because
And
that's
it's
one of those
highlighted
things.
And highlighted and
Any denial we make in treatment is simply to conduct us to a place of greater affirmation. So that, to me, this paragraph really resonates in me that, principle is not limited. The divine is not limited. Life is not limited. And as my partner always says, no reason why it can't happen.
So Dakota's not limited.
Dakota's not limited at all. And I see that.
Yeah.
As I saw manifested in 2024, there is not that limitation there. And this is what I treat my mind with, because as said, in here, that the limitation is never, the divine principle. It's in our limited egos.
Right. It's in me.
It's in me.
It's in me. So if you're trying to create the life you love, which is our goal, to help everyone create a life you love and help us create a life we love, and that whole thing, when you're doing that, if it's not manifesting how you want it to, we're going to create vision boards and booklets today after service. If you do all that work and it doesn't show up in your experience, it's not that, it's not there. It's not that you can't have it. It's that you somewhere are limiting its ability to appear.
Right. And
we're the block. We're
that's where I love when we go back to foundations, the science of mind symbol, is a circle with the V, and then there's these two bars here. And then what I was taught is that there's where the belief system, the BS is, right? That everything comes down, and if we didn't have this belief system that said it can't, and here are the reasons why,
not good enough,
or whatever. The minute we thought it would appear. It would. So I guess that's good, because sometimes, Garth Brooks says, "Thank God for unanswered prayers."
I know, right?
So it could get messy. I mean, I like ice cream a lot, so there's this thing there that makes me reason. That's and I don't find myself very analytical. But when it comes to why stuff couldn't happen, boy, analysis to paralysis, on there. Yeah. So that's where my brain, I've had to really, make that effort to say, okay, wait a minute, Jeannie. What is truth? What is, and I know that everything I want wants me.
Yes.
As long as it harms no one.
Right.
I know this. I affirm this. This is. Right. So there is no stop. And that's the release, the surrender, the opening.
Right.
To allow that.
It's coming for you.
It's coming for me. Exactly.
You just have to let it.
Yeah.
Not hold up against it.
What Abraham talks about, everything that's up there in our vortex, every time we create it. And I remember one time I found some kind of toy or something, and that had been something I had wanted as a child, and then found this toy, and I was like, well, that took a little bit of time. Might have been a little longer than I had imagined it would be, but everything comes to you.
And eventually
everything comes to you.
Right, exactly. And I really feel like this year, so that's the theme this year is, what did I put on? What is it on there? Renewals and new beginnings, right? Renewals and new beginnings is the theme
for this
month.
Yes.
Yeah, because when you're looking at creating for this year, all that you want to experience, things that you want to have in your life, you know, the different parts of life. When I think about some of the stuff I'm working on right now and how excited I am about it and the feelings, you know, like I want to stay in that.
Yes.
And I want to move in that. You know, I want to, I feel like there's a lot of creativity happening. I've had that come from a lot of people, talking to a lot of people. The creativity right now is like at max. And I'm feeling that energy as well. So even talking about just moving with it, like even those feelings, to move with them and not fight them, not be like, oh, it's so, you know, no, just go. Like it can be big. It can be overwhelming and take over. Let it just follow, you know, follow the leadings, get in the flow and follow the leadings. And I think what we were saying earlier, sometimes that flow feels really, even if it's positive, can feel overwhelming and we'll shut it down.
Oh,
We'll shut it down because it's a fear of success or a fear of what if I actually do get that to happen? Or what, you know, like, so our ego will freak out even if we're going well, even if we are.
That's a really good point.
That's
a really good point.
We'll do that too.
Yeah.
So really, so you just have to be so aware of yourself and your thinking around the things that are happening, what you're manifesting, the people that are coming into your sphere of influence, you know, the things that you're attracted to help you, because that's what the universe does. Everything's for your own good. So allowing yourself to be a part of that and not fight it in any way, not name it negative, not make it negative, not, you know, turn it off. That's because I feel both ways. I can get myself so excited, and then there's that part of me that's almost overwhelming,
right?
And I want to.
I have to shut it down.
Shut it down.
And that's what we were saying. It's like, oh no, wait a minute.
God energy is big energy. God energy is big energy. Yeah. And we spend a lot of our time, a lot of our lives living small. Yeah.
Trying to contain.
And we don't allow, like I've said, this was a few years ago, before COVID, like, so quite a few years ago, where I finally had a revelation about when I would get up to sing, I would get so nervous, even though I've sung for a very long time and I've been a performer since I can remember, but I still would get so nervous. And I was saying to somebody, that's the part I hate. I was like, I hate that feeling because I want to just get up there and enjoy it. Like I have to go through the nervousness, the shaky voice, whatever. I get one song out and now I'm fine. Right. I hate that whole process. And then finally it dawned on me, you know what it is? Isn't nerves? Somebody when I was a kid called it nerves, and that's what I thought it was. And I gave it a negative connotation. What if it's not that at all? What if it's my God stuff brewing up, getting ready, and I'm just not used to that feeling? So it's like, oh, it's just
I love that.
Bigger than what I
my God stuff brewing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't get nervous.
That's your effervescent joy bubble.
Yeah. So I try to just allow myself to go with it, even though it feels
overwhelming.
So much.
Trying to contain the divine in these meat suits that we're in, right?
I just brew.
Right? I just brew. right? You can't contain the divine in this, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm surprised we don't bust out in light half the time, you know? It's like, that's a lot to happen. So
we live too small, I think.
Yeah.
I think we live way too underneath the radar. Let's just play it.
I don't, but I know there are people like that too. I do not. I do not.
But I say let's be small. Let's be bold. Let's
be bold.
Go with it this year.
Yeah.
Like just, you know, let it be. I don't even know how to speak it.
Yeah.
It's so
I got my new I gotta get to it. My new motto. So last year was speak up, stand out, shine on.
Okay. Yeah. New one for this year?
I have a new one because I was at a retreat or workshop yesterday. Whose
workshop was that?
That was Megan.
Yes.
Megs. It was amazing.
Good job, Megan.
She did it was an amazing time period. And
does she have a website or anything? Does she have anything new coming up?
It's called Rooted in Self-Love is the name of her business. And
if you can put that in the comments.
Yes, I will. Yes. And so I took from her little thing. So when we go out to the drum circle, I gave little cards because she gave out little cards, right?
Nice.
You know, the deck type of thing. And the card I got was called Nightingale. And if any of you, you know, I accidentally sing from time to time here, and you know, most people don't want me to, and it's okay because I don't
like
care.
it. We
I
like it.
sing out
We
loud.
want
no
you to
matter what.
sing. You just sing all the
But
time.
and that was part of it, you know, and it was about my voice and speaking to, you know, and speaking up. So that was last year's as well, you know, and I got on stage. Here's great online, sitting on a sofa,
Here's
shoes
amazing.
off. Here's great.
Amazing.
Here is amazing.
Okay.
But I hadn't done like real preacher work.
She-
And then I did it last
This
year.
is
And
real
so,
preacher.
well, you know,
But
you know what I'm
by
talking
yourself.
by
with a
myself
podium.
with a podium.
yeah, that's a
yeah.
whole nother
A standing
animal.
up.
Yeah.
It's a
Standing
whole-
up.
it's a
Oh my
very-
gosh.
It's a very different animal, you know, like I talk to them and they don't talk back. I'm like, what is
What?
wrong with you people? Wake up. So yeah, so I did that last year and it was amazing.
Yes.
It was amazing. And I had not felt worthy of that. And so I spent time last year working on that
Yeah.
so that would move into existence for me. So this year's is.
Can I say real
yes,
quick?
yes.
The first time you did it, how'd you feel?
Oh my,
Did the God stuff, was it bubbling
it
up?
was
and
so
like-
bubbling. And I was so scared and so nervous. And it was at New Vision Center.
Oh my
So
goodness.
what the amazing thing was is a lot of the people that I know and love were there. And so that was very cool.
Yes.
But yes.
the God
And
stuff.
then the
just
God
starts-
stuff was like, oh yeah. And actually that talk was on Shine On, Speak Up.
There you go. Yeah.
Or yeah, speak up, stand out, shine on.
Shine on.
So this year's is turn it up, write it down and let it out.
Turn it up.
There you go,
Write
turn
it
it
down
up.
and let it
Could you
out.
imagine me
Okay.
being even louder?
I don't know.
Ah, the life, I'm telling you.
All right. Well, you heard it first here, folks.
Yeah,
you heard
that's
it first
the-
here.
That's this year's.
Okay.
Yeah, I love having a yearly mantra that, you know, that brings me back in an alignment with my God stuff.
Yeah.
For
Yes,
sure.
let's stay in alignment with that.
Alignment with our God stuff.
With our
Amen.
God stuff. Amen.
All
All
sisters,
right.
brothers. Thank you. Thank
I
you.
have another little reading here for us.
What do we have?
This is on 277 and it's called Success and Happiness. Success and happiness are ours when we deal with absoluteness. This is the attitude we should have. What we need to know is the truth, capital T. This does not mean that we need not be active. Of course we shall be active.
Yes, we don't just sit around.
But we need not compel things to happen. That is the big thing. And Christian had said that, right? Like when our ego says, nope, this is how. And you know what happens?
I'm going to
is
make it happen.
I'm going to make it happen.
That's my.
We
like,
get the
push.
blinders on.
Push.
We push before it's time.
Oh, no kidding.
Right? And so then without the exhale, sometimes we make things happen. And actually, I shouldn't say that because I don't think anything happens without the divine. However, sometimes we push things prior to when they would have naturally occurred, and we miss things that may have given us an easier expression, right?
Mhm.
So that I think is something to
Because we can do it our way,
sure,
but I'd rather do it God's way,
right?
right? Like sometimes we'll say, oh no, it has to come like this and look like this and be this or whatever. And then God's got like this most amazing, and we go, no, only,
Right.
only this way.
Right. So like right, the divine God stuff that bubbles up in there and stuff, when we remove that from the equation, like Anne had said about thinking our separateness.
Yeah.
You know, not remembering that we are divine emotion, then it's harder.
Right.
It's harder anyway. If it's feeling hard, stop. Just stop.
Exactly.
You know, give yourself that breath and, you know, maybe see. maybe see there's
Yeah.
something that you need to wait for.
Or be present.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
But that's speaking
always
to
be
me.
present,
That's speaking
yeah.
to me right now. Like I think sometimes when I'm feeling stressed or I'm trying to make it happen, I'm not in the present moment.
Oh,
I'm
that's
in my
yeah.
fear. I'm in my
Mm.
anxiousness, or I've only got another week, or I've only got whatever, and I'm pushing and pushing. And that pushing and pushing is a direct indicator that I'm not being present. I'm not in the flow. I'm not allowing God to be in the how. I'm grabbing that back and saying, oh
Right.
no, it's taking too long, or I don't like, I'll do it. I'm
Right.
pulling it back in my little.
Yeah, there's a divine flow there
Yeah.
that we need to, be aware of, right? It's not that we're not to be active, right? Treat and move your feet is a thing we say in,
Yeah.
Science of Mind, but it's like, yes, pray and pay your electric bill.
Yes, please
Right.
do that.
Do the things that need to happen that are yours to do, and allow what is, the divine, what is life's, what is the universal urge
Yeah.
to be there for.
Yeah, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
of two quotes. One that the "Be still and know that I'm God." That's one of my favorites.
You mean
which is right up
this
there.
one?
Yes, that one. Be still. It's like sometimes just stop for a minute. If it's feeling like you're pushing and you're stressed and all that's happening, just be still for a minute.
Take a nap.
Just take a moment. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we wake up with all the answers.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, sometimes take a
Like,
nap
just
is the best spiritual
stop
practice I
it.
can give you.
Yes. And the other one I think of, I don't know if this is a quote or if whenever I think of it, I always think of Karen Nestor, follow your bliss.
Follow your bliss.
Follow
yeah.
your bliss. Follow your bliss. So if it's feeling like that, high as a kite, excited, like I'm so creative, I'm doing all this.
Oh yeah.
Like follow that. Do
Yes.
that. Do that.
Right. That I call that time expansion because you don't even know time's happening. Right.
No.
But time is a
It's like 3:30 in the morning. What?
It's time.
I gotta go to bed.
Right? And that's
what
when
you
I
should be
know that we're in it,
Yep.
or that my partner's in it, right?
Mhm.
Because you don't feed me when that happens. And
Microphone.
I had a microphone.
Oh,
No, Gio has it.
I'm like that too, Dakota. Like I'll get so all in something, and then I'm still doing all my stuff, and then I'm like, everybody's like, "What's for dinner?" I'm like, "What? There's dinner now?" Oh yeah, hold on a minute.
Crackers.
I know, like no dinner.
That is me too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is me too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like in the middle of stuff and it's like, are we doing this for dinner? I'm like, sure. Because that means I'm doing it. It is really funny because this year I've always been very open to the flow of things, and I always say, like, as long as I get abundance of work that I love to do, I am happy.
Yes.
But yeah, sometimes there are some things like this very drastic thing happened to a friend of mine that needed like emergency help, and I remember you telling me like, well, how close of a friend is this? And I'm like, well, I know this person and they need my help, my artistic help, choreographing and dancing. But yeah, they live in LA, so I need to make a trip to do a rehearsal. And he's like, all that right now that you're really busy? And I did. I brought a friend of mine that's a dancer. We went over there. We drove on a Friday to LA. We did a rehearsal that night in the evening, and 3-hour rehearsal. I put the whole choreography together. We got it all set. He was so thankful for this. But there was times that things came up that people were like, well, are you sure? This sounds like a lot to do right now. You're really busy and you're getting ready to go out of town for an event and stuff. And this is very last minute. But I feel like, I took it on because A, I love doing this. B, I'm helping someone else. And C, I realized that all these experiences, a lot of times you take a lot more out of it than, I'm getting paid and stuff, but I also got to go to Santa Monica and have lunch by the beach. we went out that night.
Mhm.
And had so much fun, just like dancing. And we also ended up stopping by the casino on the way there. And we weren't going to stay there long. So it was like, okay, I guess I'll put $20 on this machine because we got to head out. And I won $500.
Right.
Well, I guess this was meant to
No,
happen.
Yeah, you go with the flow.
And I just went with the flow. But I feel like sometimes, like you said, like don't expect things to come in a certain way.
Mhm.
Sometimes
Yes,
they
yes.
may come as like you helping someone else, but in return, you'll actually end up getting a lot more.
Mhm.
Totally.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
really how that works.
Yeah.
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 And you felt, see, I think if I'm hearing you correctly, you felt
Called.
even though other people feel whatever, it's how do you feel? If it's kind of like, yeah, I guess I'll go because they need like that negative energy, I would say right there, don't go.
Yeah.
That is not for you to do. But when you feel like, oh, you feel drawn and excited and you want help, that's that energy. Like
Right.
you have to just check the energy. Is it, am I doing it because, well, I can't say no and I need to be there? Like,
Right.
and you're spreading yourself so thin and it's a negative. That's one way. But when you're going with the flow and like, sure, I could be there and help and I could do, and then it's lovely. And then it's this whole, like you're in the flow, you're in that. And God is arranging the help for this person and the help for like all this stuff. And it's just a beautiful thing how that works out. And maybe other people aren't always going to understand or see it, but based on how it really feels.
And I wish we had had a camera on you.
I know.
Because your face was lit up.
Yeah.
And you could tell that was something that fed your soul.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree
And
with
you got
you.
$500.
Well, there's and fed your pockets. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
the whole, there is that time period where it's like sometimes, when people are saying, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? There are those things where you're like, no, but where you're like, you know what? Yeah, that calling. Yeah, we can do it. And we've had trips like that too, where it's like, I've gone out of town to speak and this speaking gig is not a lot of money. I'm just going to say, and it's not a great amount of money. However, the trips have been, and we got to stay in Monterey and there, this beautiful place that we stayed at. And I was like, wow, what an amazing experience we got. And that is the thing. It's like, I'm all about experience. Giving God a good time is Jean. Yeah, for sure.
I agree. I love all of that. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I agree that you're drawn, follow those leadings, follow the guidance. I mean, you may even get other things that happen from that. You just don't know. You don't know what the alignment is, what the setup is. I remember sometimes like you are trying to manifest something and I've arrived early. And I know that's going to shock a lot of people. I'm not usually early, but there have been times in my life I've arrived early and I couldn't understand, like, why isn't this happening? Why isn't this working out? Why is it? No, when you look back, once it did wind up working out and lining up, I was like, oh, somehow I was there early and the other people that needed to be involved or the other situations that needed to be worked out were still happening. And then once they all clicked in, then it went forward. So sometimes that's when you just be still and you just say, well, I'm ready. Where's everybody else, And then you just rest in that, knowing that God has your back and it's all being worked for your own good. And then eventually it moves forward again. But it's very, very interesting the way it is. But I know we have this inner guidance system that if we stay attuned to that and we pay attention to that, we know which way to go. We know which is the move because it either feels good or it doesn't feel good. Either feels, one way or the other.
Absolutely.
No.
Anybody's inner guidance system saying they need to speak?
Anything else coming up for anybody?
No, nothing today, Lacey. I'm shocked.
We covered it all, didn't we, Lacey? We did.
Yeah.
I love it.
I do.
Yeah. So this is so. I think this is one of those cards that stays out. For the week, but I think it's like this has to be a constant. Some of these practices have to be constantly over and over and over because the world, the news, the whatever's out there are always opposite. Like
Right.
they're constantly feeding the opposite ideas, and it's like, no, that's all not
Yeah,
true.
turn that
None of
off.
that's real and true. This is what's real and true, is that I know that life is for me and nothing is against me, no matter what it looks like at the time.
I do believe there's a meditation on that. Not
If
that
you don't have the Signs of Mind book and you're just curious, you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a religion changer. Like it doesn't have to be that you're going to be a religious scientist now because you have the book, but there's so many good things in this book. There's lots of meditations, lots of understandings of how it works with, aligning your mind, right?
Lots of words.
Lots of words.
Lots of work.
He's very heady. He's a scientist, mind you. So he's very
Very verbose.
but it's very there's just so much in this book that I love reading it. I love pulling it out and just reading it.
I've got one.
You do?
I do.
So this is what we're doing?
Yes,
You
this
want-
is
you
what
want
we're
the little
doing.
thing?
I'll take a little ding. Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone.
So just anchoring in this topic of knowing that life is for us. Today, I meet my good. It knows me and will not let me depart from it. My good is at hand, and I cannot be robbed of it. Good is forever expressing itself to me and mine. I can even now see and hear and feel the all good in and around me. It presses itself against me and fills me with a great surge of life. My good is at hand. And for this knowing that our good is at hand, I say thank you. Thank you, life. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God, for all that there is. That everyone within the sound of my voice and beyond experiences in their life. That this too is good. And for this we are grateful. And so I let it go. I call it good. And together we say, and so it is. All right.
Well,
I love it.
Thank you.
How can we support you?
Oh, thanks for asking, Ann. So you can support us by like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
If you are on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and Instagram also. And we have a Facebook group as well.
Called Sofa Sundays.
Sofa Sundays on Facebook,
Mhm.
Begin Within Ministries on YouTube. I was like, words
she's gonna
coming
get it,
out.
she's
I'll get
gonna
it
get
out.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
And the other way you can support us is financially through our website at beginwithinministries.com. You can do a one-time donation, or you can join us and become a spiritual church club partner. That's $45 for an individual, $75 for a couple or family. And that allows us to continue to bring things like classes and cards and booklets and
Yeah, our journals. So our partners get those for free too.
Right.
And our mugs for free. Like
our mug. Yes, mugshot.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah,
I need a mugshot.
you get
New
this-
Year mugshot.
You get a mug. And you get a little Sofa Sundays charm. It's amazing. So that is how you can become a spiritual church club partner and continue to support us.
And friends, we're growing. So get it. We want you to be a part of this.
And Anne says
And-
show up in person.
Yes, they want you to show up in person.
Show up in person.
Yes.
So like today, as an example, you show up in person, and we're going to, after this, do a drum circle to set intention with Soulfire Vibe. Woo, woo!
So Soulfire Vibe is in the house.
Soulfire Vibe in the house. And then we are going to do vision boards or magazines. You have your choice. You could do both even.
You can do
You
both.
could do both.
One goes up on your wall, and one you can take
And
with
one
you.
you can take with you. And
Wherever
we
you-
have little snacky snacks. So yeah.
I mean, it's fun being a part of this community, and we're continuing to grow, and we just want you all to be a part of it. So
Yes. And Lacey would like more preteens.
we need some more young people
to come out.
we
and
have
teens.
yep,
Yeah.
2 every week seems like, and we're looking
Yeah.
for some more.
Yeah. So
and then
come
we'll
on
start
out
to
and
add
join
that.
us.
I know. Yeah, bring your kids. Let's go.
Yeah.
Even if you're not in Whitman, come on out.
And that's her. That's our Lacey.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Point.
Yes. Right. So, anyways, share this with your friends. Come see us in person. Be a part of this wonderful community that we're creating. We're so
Yes. And don't forget Reverend Jerry Truer on the sofa,
The
Jan
26th.
26.
The 26th.
We will have more information. Go to our Facebook group for that.
Yes, we love it.
All right.
I
Bye.
hope you all have a really great week.
A really great week.
A super great
A
week.
super great week. Remember, life's for you.
Nothing is against you.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.